Welcome to Simon Canyon in New Mexico, where time stands still among the weathered stones of an ancient Navajo ruin. This remarkable structure has endured centuries of harsh desert conditions, offering us a rare glimpse into the lives of those who once called this rugged landscape home. Notice the strategic placement on top of a large boulder, demonstrating the practical wisdom of early Navajo builders who carefully integrated their dwellings with the surrounding environment. The tall sandstone walls, formed by erosion over thousands of years, create a natural enclosure in the canyon. Simon Canyon in northwestern New Mexico remains less visited than other archaeological sites, preserving both its natural landscape and Navajo history in the secluded location near the Navajo Dam. Now I'm going to show a preview of the trail to the Simon Canyon ruins. This 1.6-mile round-trip hike has a modest elevation gain of 146 feet through a rocky canyon landscape. The terrain consists mainly of sandstone formations and sparse vegetation. Despite its short distance, hikers should come prepared with proper footwear and water for this exposed desert trek. The hike begins at the designated parking area for the Simon Canyon trailhead. There's a vault toilet here if you need it. Look for the trailhead sign at the back of the parking lot and proceed through the gate onto what appears to be an old dirt road. This initial section is well defined and easy to follow. Soon you'll reach a small stream crossing. Depending on the season, the Simon Creek may range from a gentle trickle to a more substantial flow, so be prepared, but it is easily crossable. In drier months, crossing the stream bed is pretty straightforward, but in the spring runoff might make it a little trickier. After crossing Simon, continue forward until you spot a sign for the San Juan River Trail. Follow the directional markers to the left and begin ascending the hill toward the Simon Canyon Historical Site. This uphill section represents the most physically demanding portion of the hike, though it remains accessible for most fitness levels. While you'll feel the elevation gain here, the path doesn't require any technical hiking skills. Take your time and enjoy the expanding views as you climb. Once at the top of the hill, the trail gradually levels off onto a plateau. Here the terrain becomes significantly flatter and will remain so for the rest of the hike. You'll notice a functioning water well pump in this area, which provides an interesting contrast to the historical ruins you'll soon encounter. The landscape opens up, providing broader vistas of the surrounding canyon environment. This section of the trail features abundant cacti and other desert plants. Pay close attention to where you step, especially if you're hiking with children, and dog owners should consider keeping pets leashed to prevent painful encounters with these spiny plants, as removing cactus spines from paws can be challenging and uncomfortable for both you and your pet. Once you get to the top, you'll pass by a pump station, but this isn't a water source for hikers. There's no drinking water available in the canyon, so be sure to bring plenty of your own. Once you're at the pump station, you'll see a path to the left of the fence. That's the direction you want to go. There's a sign directing you to the trail, so it's pretty easy to follow. And from here on out, the trail is mostly flat all the way to the Navajo ruins. Simon Canyon stretches across 3,900 acres of rugged sandstone terrain, with steep cliffs and rocky trails. Down in the canyon floor, you'll find cottonwoods and cacti, while up here on the canyon bench, piñon, juniper, and even some ponderosa pines grow. The Simon Creek running through the canyon creates lush spots that attract all kinds of wildlife, so keep your eyes out for golden eagles, prairie falcons, owls, porcupines, beavers, deer, and others. It's wild, remote, and full of natural beauty. As you head out on the trail, you'll pass a sign-in sheet in a white metal stand. Don't skip it. Take a second to stop and register your name and trip details. If anything goes wrong or you get lost, this helps search and rescue know where to start looking. It's a simple step that could make a big difference. If you're interested, you can camp in Simon Canyon, but it's pretty primitive. There are 4 designated campsites near the parking area with a picnic spot and a vault toilet, but no water or electricity, so bring your own supplies. You can also disperse camp elsewhere in the canyon if you want more privacy. And this is BLM land. It's open year-round and totally free, but the roads can get rough when the weather's bad, especially if it's rained. If you want more comforts like hookups and running water, Navajo Lake State Park isn't far away. So whether you go full-on rustic or choose a more developed spot, this area is an awesome place to camp and explore. As you make your way through Simon Canyon, you'll hike through some boulders, which make it look a little bit like Land of the Lost. But don't worry, the trail is still pretty easy to follow. Just watch for a few confusing spots along the way. One thing to be careful of is not mistaking a dry wash, that's the sandy runoff area for water, for the actual trail. It might look like a path, but don't follow it. The real trail stays close to the edge of the cliff and continues mostly straight. If you're unsure, take a second to look for footprints before heading in the wrong direction. When I hiked here on a Saturday in February, I was pretty much the only hiker on the trail. I barely saw anyone else, just one big group hiking together. If they hadn't been there, I would have had the entire canyon all to myself. It's a quiet, peaceful hike, especially in the off-season, so if you're looking for some solitude and nature, this is the place to be. My dog was really good at finding the trail, so I just let her lead the way. The best time to hike Simon Canyon is in the fall, winter, or early spring when temperatures are cooler and the trail is less crowded. Late spring and summer can get pretty hot, and if you're hiking in the warmer months, be ready for mosquitoes, especially near the creek. Bug spray is a must. As you get further down the trail, start keeping an eye out for the Navajo ruins. They'll show up pretty soon and you'll see them up in the trail on the left. So before we get to the actual site, let me give you a little history. So the Simon Canyon Ruin is a Navajo Pueblito built around 1754. This was a time of conflict, and the Navajo built defensive structures like this one to protect themselves from raids from Spanish settlers and soldiers, Ute and Comanche warriors, Apache raiders, and others. So what makes this site unique? It's the only boulder-top Pueblito north of the San Juan River. The single-room structure is made of local sandstone with wooden beams, and incredibly, much of the original roof is still intact after nearly 300 years. So the site's unique construction atop a large boulder provided strategic advantages, allowing inhabitants to monitor and defend against potential threats effectively. But how did the Navajo get up there? Well, they likely used ladders or carved handholds, which could be pulled up or hidden if needed, making it even harder for enemies to reach them. And from this high vantage point, they had a clear view of Simon Canyon and could see any approaching threats. The Simon Canyon Ruin was nominated to the National Register of Historic Places in 1975. So this designation recognizes its significance as a well-preserved example of a Navajo Pueblito from the 1700s. There's not a way to get to the top of the boulder to see the Pueblito today, so you have to view it from the ground. Or you could also hike to a higher point in the canyon to get a better view from above. I spent some time exploring around the Pueblito. There are some nice shady areas where you can look down to the canyon floor while enjoying the view. When you're done exploring, you return back to the parking lot on the same trail that you hiked in on. There's also a really nice trail that goes along the San Juan River. It's called the San Juan River Trail, and you'll pass a sign directing you to that trail on your way back, so it's worth the exploration. There are several offshoots off the main trail that will bring you down to the San Juan River, and when I was there were a lot of fishermen enjoying the day. That's it! I hope you enjoyed this preview of the Simon Canyon Navajo ruins and the trail to get there. Please feel free to add any comments in the comments section. Thanks for watching!